Stepp with Dave Campbell's Texas Football here at Fossil Ridge High School, here with the head coach of the Panthers, Coach Tony Baccarini, before the annual spring football game here at Keller Fossil Ridge. Coach, thanks for taking a few minutes to chat with us today.
You bet, Matt.
All right, obviously the spring game is kind of the culmination of a tough spring. Spring football can be a grind after a while because you're not game planning. You don't have an opponent to get ready for. You're just trying to get better on your own. So this is a nice little reward, I know, for the kids and for the coaches. But talk about what you guys do here at Ridge as far as your setup for the spring game and kind of get into that a little bit.
You know, the spring game for us is just icing on the cake for having a great spring practice. And we implement all of our offense in about a 2-week period. So we just saturate them with information, and defensively also. So now it just turns into fun. We split the teams exactly even. Every coach sits in a room, and we try to match up personnel where there's no mismatches. And then I split the staff, and we draw for a team. So they don't no one has an advantage until they get their team, and then they go to work.
All right.
Making up some kind of crazy game.
I was going to say, you mentioned that your coaches were drawing up some pretty exotic game plans out there. Talk about that a little bit and how much fun the coaches, because people don't realize the coaches have some fun with it too. Are there any serious lunch bets going on amongst your staff?
You know, I'm sure there's something going on with the staff because they're always up to something. But the game plans, they come up with things that we don't necessarily do. They put kids in positions they don't necessarily play. But it's a lot of fun for the kids and coaches. And there's a lot of talking going on all week.
Some good Fieldhouse trash talk material going on?
It's all fun until after the game, and then we're all back together.
All right. Now, and I'm assuming whoever wins and gets lunch, you're going to be on the winning end and getting some free lunch as well, right?
I don't know. I have nothing to do with this. It's all theirs.
All right. From an overall staff perspective, obviously you bring back a lot of, you have some experience coming back, but you lost a few guys at key positions. I know you got to, you to replace a quarterback, a really good running back, and a couple of good players on the defensive side of the ball. Overall, what were you looking at as far to get out of the spring? Were there any specific position battles you wanted to really keep your eye on here?
Yes, there were. On paper, we've got a lot of guys back, 9 on offense and 8 on defense. 7 of them have been on the varsity, 2 playoff teams since they were sophomores, and now they're seniors. So, but there are some spots. We lost the best running back in our school history. So we've been rolling backs in and got a lot of great candidates, and no clear cut for the job. We have a senior, a junior, a sophomore, and a freshman all fighting for the job and doing a great job. They'll all play. So that's a good thing. We're just trying to find some depth also at some positions. We've got some guys coming off injury from the season that haven't been going through contact. They do some drills but not contact, and won't have contact tonight. So the guys getting the reps behind them are really improving, and that's going to make us better down the road.
It's almost a blessing in disguise to have those guys sit out, because those guys the guys who are stepping in are quality depth and kind of developing that thing, right?
They're getting reps they wouldn't have gotten against the ones, this spring. So that's going to help us in the long run.
All right, we got some bad weather that could be moving in tonight. What's the alternate? I mean, if the rain comes, you just going to just shut it down, or what's the game plan if weather?
Tonight's it. So if it were to storm, the freshmen start at 5:30. If it were to storm while they're going, theirs would get canceled. We're going to wait till 7 when the varsity starts. If we can start then, we'll start. But then we won't start past 8 o'clock if there was a rain delay. If something's going to blow through in 30 minutes, we'll wait it out and go back out. But we're getting it in tonight, or it's done.
All right, and after tonight, you move into your, you get ready for your summer strength and conditioning program. Every school pretty much has one now. Talk about just what that does for the camaraderie and what you guys as a staff look for as far as what the kids need to do in the summer to get bigger, faster, and stronger.
We try to get 100% participation, so we have a couple hundred kids out here in the summertime. And our coaches run our strength and conditioning, which, might not work everywhere. But for us, we want to make it reasonable enough where they can all be here. So we start the day after we get out of the Monday after we get out of school and go for 6 weeks with 1 week off.
And some people don't realize this is for all athletes, right? I mean,
yes.
Female athletes can participate, non-football players. This is an overall program, right?
We have a lot of non-football players jump into MAC, and it really pays off for their seasons. You see it when their season rolls around. So hard work always helps.
All right, now we're looking ahead to 2017. Obviously, the district last year, Abilene, had a tremendous team, state title caliber team for sure. They lose a lot of good seniors, but we know they're still going to be in the mix. And the Keller schools, it's always a tough game when those 4 teams play. Anybody can beat anybody in a given night. So, and then with Weatherford and Haltom being improved as well, it doesn't look like there's going to be many off weeks in this district. You're going to have to come and play every night, right?
You better bring your A game every Friday or whatever day you're playing on, because these crosstown rival things, I mean, it doesn't matter what your record is, it's going to be a close game.
Yeah.
And Abilene's very, very well coached and always have, a perennial power out there, and Haltom and Weatherford are much improved. So we try to concentrate more on us than everybody else. We worry about our execution and how we play the game more than we worry about everybody else. Because if we don't play up to our par, we won't be in the game.
And final question for you. This is kind of just an overall perspective on spring football. We talked about it off camera a little bit. It can be a little bit of a grind towards the end because during the season you get into a routine, you have a couple of practices, you start putting in the game plan, you're preparing for an opponent.
Right.
There's no opponent during spring football. You're just focused on yourselves, so to speak. I know coaches like that, but you're dealing with kids and that kind of thing. How do you keep the kids from engaged, and then also keep them from getting too chippy in practice? Because they get tired of hitting on each other, I'm sure.
There's a little bit of that at times, and we don't let it carry past the whistle. But yeah, they get tired of it after a while. For us, it's completely different in the fall. The fall is much easier than the spring because we're one of the smaller 6As in Texas, so we can't afford to hang around very much in the fall. In the spring, we go good on good every day. 1s on 1s, 2s on 2s, 3s on 3s. In the middle, 1-on-1, 7-on-7, and teams. So they probably get a little sore, around that 15th practice or so. So everything's in, and they need a little break for their bodies also.
Do y'all mix in any fun competitions after practice to keep it light? I see some stuff on Twitter every once in a while. You'll have offensive linemen back there catching punts and that kind of thing to see who has to run sprints. Do y'all mix anything in like that to try to keep the kids loose and engaged?
The team, once the music comes on in practice, it's pretty hyped up every day anyway. We try to stay with the same routines because our kids like being in a routine. So when the music comes on and middle drill starts and then we get into team, it's pretty live every day.
So the music keeps them light, right?
Sprints. We haven't run a sprint in 6 years.
Really? Okay.
We want them to be exhausted from practicing at a high tempo. So they should be exhausted when we're done, and we wouldn't work everywhere if it worked for us.
So you guys use music to keep the kids engaged and keep them motivated.
Yeah, it keeps them loose.
There you go.
Looser the better.
There you go. Well, Coach, I appreciate it. Have a fun spring game and enjoy your summer vacation. And I'll try to stay out of your hair too much since I live down the street, and we'll see you during the season.
Thanks, Matt.